The Google Pixel 9a is one of my favorite mid-range devices on the market right now. It embodies everything that I love about the Google Pixel 9, but in a smaller price point, or reduced price point, which is really good. Starting with the design, we get a streamlined camera design, as you'll notice there. It's not the typical one that we normally see on the Google Pixel 9, for example. There's plenty of recycled material used here. For example, the aluminium frame that's used here is actually a recycled material. We have a Corning Gorilla Glass 3 cover glass, which is good. And also on the back, it's all matte finish, although it does attract a lot of fingerprints as well, so you might have to wipe that often. And since I've been using it so far, there's a tiny little scratch, which is just on there, which you guys probably won't see. We also have IP68 dust and water resistant here, and it's available in obsidian, porcelain, iris, and peony. I think I'm saying that right. For the display, we have a 6.3-inch actual display, which is AC to UA without the L, and that's 1080 by 2424 in terms of resolutions. So that gives you 422.2 ppi, and this aspect ratio is 20 by 9, and it'll give you 60 to 120 Hz refresh with 2,700 nits of peak brightness. The brightness levels could be better from my experience, but it's still pretty decent in terms of day-to-day use. For the camera, we're talking 48 megapixel main camera, which is down from that 64 megapixel that we had on the predecessor. That will give you f1.7 aperture and a super resolution zoom up to 8x. For the ultra wide angle camera, the second one, we have 13 megapixel. It gives you 120 degrees field of view, and that is f2.2 aperture. Over on the front, we have a 13 megapixel front facing camera at f2.2, and it will give you 96.1 degrees field of view. So for the processor, we get Google Tensor G4, which has a Titan M2 security core processor. It has 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 or 256 gigabytes of internal storage. For the battery, we're looking at 5100 milliamp hour battery. It supports fast charging as well and wireless charging. And Google will give you 7 years of OS security and pixel drop updates. It's running on Android 15 and it has Wi-Fi 6E. So with all the specs, what does this actually mean in the real world? Well, when it comes to the design, I like what they've done with the curved edges. It just makes it nice and easy and comfortable to hold in hand. I love the matte finishing on the back, although sometimes I have to keep wiping it and it does attract scratches. This streamlined camera design is also nice because it just lays flat on the surface, so there's no wobble, which is really nice. And elsewhere, the buttons are within ease of reach, so you can easily reach the buttons for volume and the power as well. And it does support fingerprints on screen, fingerprints lock and unlock as well, so you can easily just unlock the device very quickly. You get all the Google goodness like Google Gemini, all the AI features are all there as well. So the software is very smooth with no bloatware at all. So you can easily just operate this. You can buy this for your mum or whoever, and they'll get on with this very quickly, very easily with no issues at all. That display is also good as well. It's nice and vibrant, it's sharp. The brightness level could be better, but I think they've done enough for that price point there. When it comes to the camera software as well, very easy to use. You have long exposure there. You got the Add Me feature, so you can try and add yourself to a group picture, so that way you're not missing out on important moments. So you also have that feature available to you on here, just like the Google Pixel Pro, Google Pixel 9 and 9 Pro XL. You got portrait mode, which is available in 1.5x and 2x, and in photo you can go 0.5, 1x, and 2. You can also shoot 4K 30 frames on here as well. You got night sight, and if we switch to video, this is where you see that 4K setting. So you got 4K that's available to you there, up to 60 frames. I believe you can shoot 4K at 60 frames per second, which is good. You got stabilizations available as well to you. So plenty of options there in terms of shooting videos, shooting content on the go. And you can even edit stuff after the fact as well, which is nice and easy. You have slow motion available. So plenty of choices available when it comes to shooting content on the go. When it comes to the processor and the battery, well, the battery lasts me a whole day and then some, no issues there at all. But that depends on your usage. So for me, it's just social media, checking emails, taking photos, all that kind of stuff. I have no issues at all. The processor is good as well in terms of no hiccups. So far, so good whilst using this. So that's something good about the device. And also, it also results in being able to play really graphics intensive games like Genshin Impact or Call of Duty. You can play those games with no hiccups and it works really well. When it comes to photography as well, the front-facing camera does a really good job at keeping that skin tone correctly, and also just the way that it just keeps that resolution and detail levels there is really good. You can even see that water drop on my face there because it was raining when I took this particular selfie here. And I even took one on the wider angle as well, just to see what that would look like. And again, just keeps a really good photo quality. And then just generally in the daytime, shots looks absolutely fantastic as well. The colors are great. There's no issues there at all. Even on a grey day like this, it still comes out really well. Low light is good as well. You capture plenty of details there as well because you can open the aperture wide enough and keep it long enough to capture a lot of details without having to worry about anything. So there's not a lot of noise in there. Even using the ultra wide, 1x and zoom as well, I think it works really well. It does a really good job at keeping the details in there, which I really like. In terms of the highlights as well, even in low lights, I think it does a really good job. So generally, camera is good. So if you were to buy one of these, you're going to really have a good time in terms of the quality that you get out of it. Look at that sunset that I was able to capture on my flight back home the other day. So you can do so much on here with no issues at all. It just captures a lot of detail. So I think overall, they've done a good job here when it comes to the design, the software experience, the AI features, you know, the camera quality, being able to game on here as well. The screen quality is good as well. So they've done a really good job here. So this is definitely one to consider if you're looking to save money, but you want to have that Google Pixel experience. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. If you have any questions, drop them there as well. I'll do what I can to answer those back. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe.